Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Today, our group will be present our material for the mid test for the academic speaking lesson. So this material will be delivered is the benefit of mastering public speaking. Our group is a four member of us. This next slide, please. There's first Amalia Nur Azizah, Fitra Aulia Rivani, Dian Putri Islami, and Novryansyah Chotibul Umam. So in this evening, we will presented our material. It's called the benefit of mastering public speaking. The next slide, please. So first of all, what is exactly public speaking is? Maybe we already know and we will listen, but what is exactly mean of the public speaking is? So first of all, I'm going to talk about with my perspective. As public speaking is a skill refers to the talent of effective addressing an audience, whether it's from a group of people you already know, a crowd, or complete stranger. Your ability to communicate them with the clarity, the confidence is known is your public speaking skill. They may or may not be opportunity for interaction between the speaker and audience. The basic difference is, however, between the casual talk and the public speaking is that the latter is more purposeful and meant to tell everybody or audience to what exactly you want to deliver. Now, public speaking is also called to oration or oratory has traditionally meant to act of speaking face to face with a live audience, like I mentioned earlier. Today, it includes so many things, maybe formal or informally. But for the education thing, you have to absolutely have to formally, obviously, to deliver the great distance between what you want to say in your lecture in a formal class. Public speaking is also used so many different purposes, but usually some method of teaching persuasion or maybe entertaining each other calls upon slightly differences, but this actually mean the same thing. Talking with talking with the front of the people. So there's a according to Siegel, the nine public speaking refers to the communication practice of speaker sharing idea with the audience primarily to speech and started that public speaking is a technique to communicate a message or idea in front of people. In order to make the understand the information or although someone's view or option. Furthermore, David Safkris started public speaking is a continuous communication process in which a message and the symbol circulate repeatedly between the speaker and the listener. We can conclude We can conclude the public speaking is an oral communication activity that is performed directly in the front of audience and in the front of a group of people. When we make a presentation in the front of the class, give a speech or presentation, the thing we have want to share with the class, those example of the public speaking activity. So the next slide is how the benefit and what is the benefit of public to mastering public speaking is. This 10 example we bring it in this our material. So first of all, to be success in the college, and the second is to get higher and advance in your career. A third one is to strengthen the critical thinking skill. Number four, to reduce speaking anxiety and increase self-confidence. Number five, to deliver your message as effectively as possible. Number six, to listen more intently and effectively. Number seven, to provide more useful feedback to the others. Number 8, to take an audience-oriented perspective. Number 9, to excite and engage people. And number 10, to empower yourself to be a leader. So, as we mentioned earlier, how about the benefit the mastering public speaking is? First, I'm going to talk about the, the more depth with the number one point to be success in college. As you know, the ability of speaking is more important. One of the important thing you aspect you have to learn in the university or your college. So, what exactly mean? The ability to inform the one of the most important aspect in public speaking. That's a real definition on it. For perspective research papers of the PowerPoints that you presentation in the front of the class, your share of idea, your in front of your lecture, it might be informative speaking, a vital component like maybe your success in the career across a work field. Once you're there attention and maybe you have a good speaking skill, then maybe the lecturer will give you a higher score and then it will be better and it will be improved. It's a benefit when you already you graduated. For example, you might be asking to lecture that how to speak English fluently and whatever is giving definition of sharing is in front of a lot of people is a benefit of all. But maybe you share something, you presentation with your class, it is better than you speak it. Then you have to give them the paper and then read the summaries name. Give it to each one of them and read it. So it's better than you have to speak. They're gonna be more understanding what you give, what you material is are. So to the listening critical thinking writing outlines is effectively organizes idea and information are all the topic covered in the public speaking classes, all which are critical skill for the college and success. Body argued that component in the public speaking is paramount to student success. In the out of a classroom as pass as a public speaking is a necessary part from the college and work responsibility. So this is a definition of the public speaking, the benefit it in the college from the careers to Ken Morgan and Elson 2010. And the point number two will be delivered by Fitra. The time is yours.
Okay, thank you, Rian. Okay, the next benefits of mastering public speaking is to get hired and advance in your career. Yeah, how can public speaking advance your career? Public speaking can be a great way to advance your career no matter what your goals are. Showing your boss that you deserve a raise, advertising your personal brand, or finding new career opportunities. You can achieve this with the help of public speaking. What can you do by mastering public speaking's abilities? The first, impressing your boss. I say again, public speaking success is a good indicator of valuable professional abilities. If you want to impress your boss, public speaking may be a fantastic way to demonstrate your professional talents. For example, maintaining calm and confidence throughout a speech and Q&A sessions shows professionalism under juries and compassing an effective speech demonstrates creativity and critical thinking. And the second, networking. Yeah, public speaking might assist you get advantage over the competition when it comes to professional networking. A speech demonstrates your individuality more than a resume or cover letter. So you can more easily the content and tone of a speech than you can dictate the content of a job interview. So take advantage of any professional public speaking chance that make your life better. Create an effort to be memorable, make connections and follow up. If your professional context recognize you as a speaker, you will be more than a faceless resume and cover letter. And the third, by mastering public speaking, it's really help you when meeting with your new client and business. So we can see that according to O'Hare et al. 2010, Alinsky and Colligan 2002, we look for work after we graduate from college. Employers want to hire and work with people who are good communicators. Indeed, they consistently report that good communication skills, such as public speaking and presentation abilities, are the most important and sought after qualities in a job candidate. So the next The next is to strengthen critical thinking skills. Yeah. How does public speaking improve our critical thinking skills? One of the main advantages of taking a public speaking is that you will develop a better ability to think critically. For example, when writing a persuasive speech, you will need to analyze real world issues impacting your university, school, neighborhood, or the world and give potential solutions to those issues. You will also need to think the positive and negative consequences of your solutions before communicating them to others. So, we can see again from according to Zarevsky 2005, page 6, that students who study public speaking learn how to think critically, which is defined as the ability to form and defend your own judgments rather than accepting or rejecting what you hear or read. Students in public speaking classes develop critical thinking skills by learning how to adapt their message to their audience, how to organize persuasive messages, and how to listen. The next, to listen more intently and effectively. Yes, public speaking can help you to listen more carefully. As a public speaking student, you also will learn to be better listener. Listening is a prominent feature of public speaking for the curious Duncan Morgan and Nelson our everyday interactions. Duncan Morgan and Macy Dermot 2009. Listening skill improve our ability to respond to others more satisfactorily, benefit ourselves, and by recognizing opportunities, and last but not least, protect ourselves from exploitation by others. Our modern media environment includes not only responsible, ethical messages intended to benefit listeners, but also highly irresponsible, unethical messages that seek to exploit listeners.
Okay, next there is to provide more useful feedback to others. Many public speaking classes teach students how to provide constructive criticism to their peers, which is a valuable and lifelong skill. Constructive criticism is feedback or criticism that is specific, accompanied by a rational and expressed as personal opinions using I language. Ineffective feedback, such as "your speech was interesting," is worthless in comparison to effective feedback, such as "the point you made about how your cultural heritage affects your daily choices was insightful." and seem to resonate with the audience based on their nonverbal reactions. You might learn the DIE method if you take a public speaking class. And next, okay, and next is there is to deliver your message as effectively as possible. A good public speaker will learn how to use effective delivery techniques or how to convey a message using one's voice and body. Effective delivery necessitates preparation and practice. As a public speaking student, you will learn how to use effective vocal volume and pitch, speaking speed, pauses, diction, tone, and facial expression. And next, to excite and engage people. We've all heard boring, those speakers who put us to sleep, both metaphorically and literally. The study and practice of public speaking will expose you to a plethora of innovative ways to stimulate the sense of others. Good speakers can evoke feelings and images in the minds of their listeners by using creative and vivid language. They work to provide detailed descriptions of sight, sounds, tastes, smells, and textures. Alliteration, similes, and metaphors may also be used.
The next benefit that we can get from mastering public speaking is to reduce speaking anxiety and increase self-confidence. The fear of public speaking is the most common phobia ahead of the death, spiders, or heights. The National Institute of Mental Health reports that public speaking anxiety or claustrophobia affect about 73% of the population. The underlying fear is a judgment of negative evaluation by others. Public speaking anxiety is considered as a social anxiety disaster. Well, if you have ever spoken in front of many people, in front of audiences, you have probably experienced stage fright. It is a common and complex reaction involving fear, apprehension, tension, and then nervous. However, studies show that if you learn and practice anxiety reduction technique, you will experience less public speaking anxiety. Yes, when the first time I do learning about public speaking, I feel like scared, nervous, and even I cannot stand up properly because um, my body was shaking. Time to time, I can improve myself, I can build my self confidence, and I always say to myself, it's okay to be nervous. Even the professional public speaker or someone who has many experiences in public speaking will feel the same. And it's normal, I suppose. Every people will feel the same if they have to speak in front of many people or the audiences. This is human feeling. And then there are several ways to increase confidence. The first is practice but not memorize. The second is practice with written notes. The third is practice the flow of the presentation. The fourth is practice recovering from a brain freeze. And the last, be prepared for the worst. Next slide, please. Okay, the next benefit is to take an audience-oriented perspective. Every good communicator should be aware of his or her target of the audiences. Consider some of the emails, apologize, love letters, or invitations you have sent. Perhaps you consider who the receiver was and how to shape your message when writing this. Students learn how to conduct audience analysis and then in public speaking classes, which is the process of understanding your audience and adapting your presentation to meet their needs. There are several important questions should be considered by the speaker. First is, what does the audiences know about my topic? Then, what is their position on the topic? Eh, and this answer can be discovered through indirect audience analysis, which is refers to using existing sources of information to analyze the audience and requires um, speculation about listeners' interests and attitude toward the topic. Um, for me, a good communicator or a good public speaker is he who can deliver message or meaning to the audiences in a good way, till the audiences can catch the point or what a message from him. Next slide, please. And last is to empower yourself to be a leader. A person who is appointed as a leader must be able to motivate, to inspire many people who work to collaborate as best as possible. A leader is someone who can speak confidently to large audiences, engaging, influencing, and motivating others. Could you imagine how if a leader cannot motivate, do not have confidence to speak in front of many people, he cannot called as a leader because he can't show that he is a leader. That's why by studying public speaking will improve your ability to stand out as a candidate from promotion with leadership potential at all. Three of pyramid defining levels. So by having a good public speaking skills, the other will believe in us as a leader to guide them in a proper way. Next slide, please. That's all the materials from us. So the conclusion, public speaking has numerous advantages such as increasing self-confidence, sharpening critical thinking, make it easier to find work, becoming a leader, and so on. The advantages of public speaking will aid in a variety aspect of life. So let's improve our public speaking skills from now on for greater benefit in the future time. That's all from us. Thank you so much for your kind attention. We apologize if we do some mistakes. Thank you. We say you wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.